Good morning. I'm here at the ApHC World Show with Teresa Pennington, and Teresa is the sponsor and the lady behind a very special event here, and I've asked her to come and explain a little bit more about the program and how it works and the awards that they give and who our winner was this year. So welcome, Teresa.
Thank you, Wendy.
So tell me a little bit about your program that you're a sponsor of.
Well, 4.5 years ago in Tulsa, Alicia Rapp, who is my business partner's daughter, who was in my training program for all of her youth and part of her non-pro career, came up to me and said, we really need to do something to get the over fences more participants in it. So I was like, you're right, we do, because it was starting to slack off. When she was a youth, there were like 30 entries, and it just got smaller and smaller and smaller. And that was her love, was the over fences. So she was working for a doctor, and she was like, I have $1,000, and what are we going to do with it?
Awesome.
She was like, let's put it into the ApHC breed and let's do this. So she helped me put it together. So she was actually the Kickstarter of the program. And then I ran with it. And so now this year was our 4th annual. And we're trying to build the entries. I think there's a lot of interest in the over fences, but I think that people get afraid of over fences. The ApHC breed has not had a lot of quality in the past, and we've watched the over fences and gone gasping that the horse was going to make it over the fence. But over the years, the over fences has
It's gotten very competitive.
Well, I mean, just has become good enough to go to the A circuit. A lot of these horses compete with a lot of our trainers not at ApHC shows. How are we going to get them to come back to our shows? The quality is there. So we thought if we put a little bit of money and some good prices together, we could get them to come back. It surely worked well for the roping when they did the extravaganza.
Sure.
And that's how we were kind of inspired, because it brought in a lot of entries.
And the name of that event is
The Windemere Hunter Classic.
Windemere Hunter Classic.
Yes.
And this year's champion was
Mason Lyons.
Mason Lyons, which we'll be interviewing him throughout the show.
And he has won it 3 out of the 4 years.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
So.
And is it specific events, or is it one event, or isn't it like a group of, they start and do one jumping thing, or is it one class, one go?
No, ma'am. It is as if you go to a hunter show. When you go to a hunter show, a trip is your first course over fences.
Okay.
So you have 2 trips and an undersaddle class.
Okay.
So we thought that we would use the ApHC class, the pre-green, the green, or the working hunter, or the non-pro working hunter, whichever one you scored the highest in, as your first trip.
Okay.
So we take the score from that one. Then we have the Windemere Hunter Classic, which is another course. That's your second trip. So then all of those people that come from pre-green, green, working hunter, and
Sure.
non-pro working hunter, then compete together in the Windemere over fences. Then they go in on the rail, or not on the rail, with the hunter undersaddle class, and they go in and compete for the undersaddle to round out the division. Then the division is calculated for your top 10 for the division.
So, as a non-jumping person or hunter person, if I had a hunter horse and brought it to the World ApHC show, I could not only show in one class, but I could be in this and add more events to my show.
Yes, and not only that, add
Money.
more championships and money. This year it slipped through the cracks, but I normally do the highest pointed non-pro as well. So that next year I'll be bringing that back.
Awesome.
And giving a special prize to the highest pointed non-pro to make them feel like there's something in it for them with competing against the professionals.
Well, I was down in the warm-up area yesterday, and it looked like the numbers are definitely increasing in our jumping and hunter horses. I put that all together.
Yes, ma'am.
But which is very good to see. And I appreciate so much your time and effort and money and sponsorship in that program. And we look forward to seeing you next year.
Yes, well, what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to expand it to nationals this coming
Oh,
year.
awesome.
Yes.
Which would then include youth as well.
Yes, ma'am. So we're going to try
Very
to make
good.
it a nationals and a world thing so that people, I still feel like people come to the world show and still aren't real clear what the Windemere Hunter Classic could offer them.
Sure.
And then I answer those questions and then they're like, okay, I'll do it next year. So even though we've done ads, people aren't clear on how they can enter, or is it a closed off event for certain people, or do you have to be invited? And it truly is for everyone. So I think if we start at nationals with like a derby or a handy hunter, then we'll be able to then explain more what's going to happen at World. So maybe then people will follow through.
So if somebody wanted to reach out and ask questions of you, Windemere Farms or Teresa Pennington
Yes,
on
ma'am.
Facebook,
Yes, ma'am.
Or
Teresa
the-
K. Pennington on Facebook.
Teresa K. Pennington on Facebook, or contact the Appaloosa Horse Club
Yes.
and they can direct you your address, phone number, whatever.
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect. Well, thank you and have a safe trip home.
Thank you. Thank you very much.